After finishing Horizon Forbidden West in a little over 57 hours and having completed all of the side quests and some of the other objectives throughout the world, I've got 6 thoughts on my time with the game. The world of Horizon Forbidden West continues to be as amazing as the first game, and it also respects Aloy's journey to this point, significantly advancing her knowledge of the old ones between games, which results in a much more pragmatic version of the character who understands the science of what exactly is going on in the world. It maintains the incredible world building and development of the series while also acknowledging that the player now has an idea of what's going on. It was always going to be difficult for Forbidden West to capture the same sense of wonder that Zero Dawn had as players unraveled the mystery of what happened to the Earth, and that resulted in a main story that, while a little intriguing, didn't quite nail the landing in the third act. But like the first game, the side quests in this game were all terrific, and it makes up for some of the weaker areas of the main story. Not to mention the brilliant facial animations that have set the bar for games moving forward. On the gameplay side of things, the spear has become an incredibly useful tool. In Zero Dawn, the melee combat wasn't particularly great, and I almost never even considered engaging with it. But in Forbidden West, the spear is great for knockdowns, finishers, and it can be comboed off of Aloy's other weapons, which helps round out the combat much more than it was in Zero Dawn, with a natural flow between ranged and melee. Horizon Forbidden West is really just more Zero Dawn, but better in almost every way. And while things like inventory management have seen some improvement in terms of organization and the introduction of an extremely useful stash, it's not quite all the way there, and some of the game's problems are still present. Mounts still have awful controls, and it's hard not to be overwhelmed by the sheer amount of icons littering the map. And it wasn't necessarily a problem, but I do have a little annoyance with the climbing in this game. The way Forbidden West chooses to indicate climbing is a bit of an eyesore by pinging the focus to reveal yellow lines all over the place, and I'd much rather have the structured system seen in Zero Dawn with all the yellow painted objects to climb on, which is still present in this game. But climbing in general is kind of a video gamey mechanic, and there's just no way to avoid that unless you go with a completely freeform system like the one seen in Breath of the Wild and the newer Assassin's Creed games. So just embrace it. And this last point isn't exactly anyone's fault, but Guerrilla Games has got to figure out its release schedule with Horizon. When Zero Dawn first released in 2017, it launched 3 days before the Nintendo Switch and Breath of the Wild. And this time around, Elden Ring dropped just 1 week after the release of Forbidden West. Horizon is a great series, and it keeps being dwarfed by these massive games releasing right after it. So, while it might not be underrated at this point, it's definitely underappreciated. So let's try to not release Horizon 3 on the same day as Grand Theft Auto 6. But overall, I really enjoyed Horizon Forbidden West, and I just love being in this world, so I'm excited to see where they go with the next game.